Hi everyone, just popping in to film an intro to this video of me making 2 corset inspired tops. This one is actually the blue floral one. I just flipped it inside out because I like the white better. So this process is not exactly straightforward. I will say that overall these tops are pretty simple. There are just a few little subtle ways that things can go wrong, and they did go wrong. But I wanted to challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone and make something that I haven't made before. I do plan to make more tops like this in the future, especially this one. It's like a tank top with an extra unique flair that I really like about it. And I learned a lot in the process of making these 2 tops. So I hope you enjoy the good and the bad of this video. Hi. So I got this dress form for Christmas. Thank you to my wonderful husband. And I have this idea of how I want to utilize it in my pattern making. I'm not the best pattern maker, and usually I just kind of like lay down and trace things and put things up and hold things to me and cut it. So it's a little chaotic. So I really want to try making something that's fitted and tailored to me. And for that reason, I am going to measure myself and adjust this dress form to fit how I am currently. Okay, recently while listening to some she shanties, I realized that Keira Knightley's dresses from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are to die for. And I've also been seeing this trendy kind of corset bustier type style of tops. I've seen it on Pinterest, I've seen it on Instagram, I've seen some TikTok girls wear them. And so in combination with Pirates of the Caribbean costumery mixed with like social media trendiness, I'm going to attempt to make a straight neckline corset top that comes down in kind of a V, like cutout shape around the hip bones. And I'm going to try to do a lace up back. I'm not exactly sure how many seams I'm gonna have. That's why I'm going to use this bad girl to draft out the pieces and play around with it a little bit to see exactly the look that I'm going for. I have some reference pictures of what I like, and I'm gonna try a couple different styles to really nail it down. I'm gonna be using a cheaper fabric. I think that I'm gonna use a fabric that came from Curtains to just lay it out, trace it out, figure out what I wanna do. And then I will cut on some nice, more expensive fabric that I don't wanna ruin. Okay. Deep breath, wish me luck. Let's try this. Here's how the mock-up looks. So, one thing I do want to change in the final version, I'm going to shorten this a little bit so it doesn't come down as far, and smoothen out where these 2 pieces join together. But the seams look good. I like the seams. So shorten this and smooth out these 2 pieces here. Hello, I'm back, and I made a mock-up in this fabric just because I have a lot of it and I got this fabric for free, but I actually really like the look of it. So my plan is to line this with this white fabric. I already made the lining. I'm going to line this with a white fabric and see how this looks. Hi, I'm back. Yes, my hair is different. But I have sewn the lining and the straps in. I still need to sew the bottom together, and then I'm going to create a placket here where I'm going to make the holes. The way that I'm going to make the holes for the ribbon to go through is using just my buttonhole foot. So practically just making buttonholes that have a satin stitch on either side, and then I'm going to run a ribbon through it and lace it out. practice run, and I really like the way that this one turned out. So I'm going to cut fancier fabric, a more expensive fabric. It's this mauve-y, almost a lilac colored satin. I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller so that I'll have some room to tighten it in the back, to lace up and tighten it. That way there's a little bit of a gap in the back. With this one, it's pretty much like exactly my shirt size, so you can't see the ribbon. It's just these two line up perfectly in the back. So I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller, give you a chance to see the ribbon lace up back. And let's get started. Okay, so I cut out one set with this fabric, the same design as the last one that I made, but I cut out another one, and I changed the design just a little bit. So there's going to be different seams here. This one has a little bit more of a, I don't know, I think like Disney princessy vibe, like Rapunzel kind of a vibe. So I'm going to put both of these together and see the subtle difference. I think this princessy one's going to look really cool. I'm going to add interfacing in between the layers to make it a little bit more stiff, and then I will be done. So update. I hate it. It's just, you know, my practice was a completely different fabric, and so this straight neckline with a strap placement, it just isn't working for me with the satin. So I think what I'm going to try instead is to do a sweetheart neckline, so more like a heart, make this kind of a shape, and move the straps to more in the corner. And I think that will look better. I'm including this just to show, you know, sometimes you mess up and that's okay. And because my practice was not satin, it just lays completely differently, and I don't like it. I don't like it in this fabric, so I'm gonna try something different. Okay, another day, and I'm back, and I'm abandoning this. I changed the neckline, and I liked the neckline, but taking away the neckline just made everything a little too short, and I don't think it's flattering. I don't really like the way that it fits. It's just odd now, it's awkward. So I'm trying again. I will use this fabric for something else, but my next attempt, I am going to use a different fabric for the backing, so it's not satin on satin. This is the new attempt. It has different seams, but I'm going to salvage the straps from this one and just cut the straps out and use them on my new one. Satin is a very difficult and tricky fabric to work with, so I'm making the best of it, and I think I'm going to try this again and use more cottony type of fabrics because it's just really difficult to make this look good in satin. Okay, finally, I moved to a little bit of a darker background so you could see some of the detail a little bit better. It's a little low cut for my taste just as a shirt, but I think this would go over another blouse beautifully. And I love the back. I made it small enough so that you could actually see the lace up in the back this time. Ignore my messy sewing table, but ta-da! It's a little low cut for my usual taste, but I think that this would go over top of like a white blouse beautifully as well. Show you the seam work on the edges. I shortened this a lot. The really long point just wasn't cutting it for me, so I shortened this. I still have the curve around the hip bone, which sits really nicely, and then the lace up in the back. If I did this design again, I would definitely use like this cotton, and actually I don't even know what the other fabric is. This is like a linen fabric with a cotton backing. I definitely prefer making them out of this material. The satin was pretty difficult. This is actually lined with another cotton just because satin on satin, it was so slippery trying to sew it. So this is actually lined with cotton. It just made the process a lot easier. Okay,